So this picture right here is an exemplification of the procedure that takes place within the CIA MK mind control experiment when it comes to MK Ultra. So I just want to read on, just describing the picture in the text. It says the text in the picture reads, unidentified white female between the age of 8 and 10 years old. Subject underwent heavy doses of LSD, electroshock, and sensory deprivation. Experiments under the code name MK Ultra about early 1960s. Subject's memory was erased and her brain is that of a newborn baby. You know, dissolve and rebuild. Salve coagula, dissolve and rebuild. Going into the understanding of how all this stuff is intertwined when it comes to what we know on a deeper level in regards to esotericism, the mind control experiment, so on and so forth, as far as what these people in the industry have to go through, as well as certain people who, who get picked or who get kidnapped, so on and so forth, because of certain prognosticated data that's found on them and the potentiality of them becoming a star or what have you. Some people don't pan out and some people do, but it's all based off of things of that nature. Now, I'm sure many of you guys know that animal print, particularly the leopard, is supposed to give off the understanding of the subject being a sex slave. And in this case, this is a huge conveyance right here when it comes to this imagery. You see the owl in the back of DJ Khaled. That owl is supposed to represent Drake. And Drake, he's basically the handler for DJ Khaled as well as many other artists. You see the owl with the keys, supposed to represent him being the handler of Drake, or Drake being the handler of DJ Khaled. Excuse me. That's what this is supposed to give off. And obviously, DJ Khaled wearing the leopard print, showing you that he's a beta sex slave. Believe it or not, that's what he is. And he's willing to do anything to continue to reach that status. That's why you see DJ Khaled, he's getting higher and higher and higher on the totem pole when it comes to Luciferianism in the entertainment industry, because he's doing every and anything that he can. That's why you see him, he's still relevant. DJ Khaled is not a rapper, but for some reason, he's rich, famous. He has the status and the acclaim as a rapper. And we know that he's a producer. I'm not saying that, this is something that people don't know as far as who DJ Khaled is and what he does. He's basically a conductor. He's a curator. That's what he does. And a producer as well, DJ. But for the most part, people used to look at DJ Khaled as someone who would just talk on songs and not really contribute, but obviously he does contribute. But for the most part, when it comes to his status, it's all based in the esoteric component and the Luciferianism. That's why you see him doing songs with Jay-Z and so on and so forth. And on that album, Khaled, the song Sorry Not Sorry is supposed to go into the understanding of them not being, not feeling shameful about the path that they chose. It's like, sorry, I'm not sorry. It's whatever. I'm not going to be shameful about it. That song with Jay-Z and Nas called Sorry Not Sorry. And Jay-Z kind of references it when he says, you killed Christ and created religion. But that's not a verse that's supposed to go into him, worshiping Christ or anything like that, or basically bigging up Christ. But it's supposed to go into his understanding of what he took in, as far as what he partook in, the religious aspect of you killed Christ and you created religion. You created Horus. You created all these false gods. You created this whole philosophy that's known as enlightenment, so on and so forth. You took the righteousness and you made it evil. And I partook in the evil. You know what I mean? Just speaking from Jay-Z, not me. I'm just saying from Jay-Z. But let's go to the next image. You see this image here of Destiny Child and Beyonce in the middle, kind of giving off that esoteric vibe of the Baphomet with the as above, so below, and with the animal print. Destiny Child once again, and you see Kelly Rowland, the only one with the leopard print. She's one of those open-minded chicks. Once again, Kelly Rowland going into her Disney programming. That's also one of the components of the MK Ultra experiment. Disney programming. Having certain subjects, force them to get aligned with Disney or align with Mickey Mouse. It gives them a great comfort when it comes to certain celebrities that have been put under the programming. It gives them great comfort to align themselves with Mickey Mouse. You see pictures like Rihanna, Chris Brown, so on and so forth. Once again, the leopard print. And I think that was the girl that was originally a part of the group right there on the far right, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see her anymore in these days. Maybe she wasn't fucking with it. She was like, nah, I'm not with this. Once again, Kelly Rowland, leopard print, letting you know what she is about. She is a sex kitten, sex slave. Kelly Rowland again. It's not a coincidence. I know some people probably be like, maybe her favorite thing to wear is leopard print. But when you see most of these celebrities and they continue to wear that leopard print, you even see Chris Paul, the majority of these celebrities, they wear the leopard print to let you know that they've been put under the programming. Michelle, kind of looking good too. Nah, but Michelle right here, man, with the leopard print. Couriers of information. Under the state, some victims were used as couriers given instruction and information sent out into society to reach another destination. Then, when reaching a targeted location, the receiver of information will inject the victim and sift out the information in the same way. Then the victim was released into the street again, not knowing what had just happened, but having these nightmares forever in their mind of the trauma-based abuse. Subproject 54. Examine techniques to cause brain concussions and amnesia as a tool in brainwashing therapy. You thought Born Legacy and other assassination films was fiction. Used in the political community. Kathy O'Brien was rescued by a former CIA agent, Mark Phillips, who has helped her recover from traumatic experiences, including abuse by several political figures, including Dick Cheney and Hillary Clinton. And we know Hillary Clinton and her history when it comes to, sex trafficking, what she's done in Haiti, so on and so forth. Behind the scenes are reports of sexual parties, orgies, sexual abuse, traumatizing sodomy, pedophilia, and homosexuality. Elite families, this is customary. Sexual abuse and trauma-based environment that keep the members enslaved and programmed for specific purposes throughout network and associations. They are out into office for specific legislation and mindset for an agenda, whether they know it or not. This is done to children as early as the age of 3, where it is determined their role, and if they qualify through childhood, the mind control is trained, and by adolescence, well inbred, yes, because the younger, the feeble, the more it is to impress upon them. The younger the mind, the more feeble. And when it comes to the understanding of these people not knowing what they're under, because they're enslaved, it's because they're pawns. You know what I mean? These politicians, these presidents, these congressmen, they're pawns. That's all they are. They're pawns for the global elite. Hollywood and entertainment. Several celebrities claim to be victims of this mind control program, sexual and emotional abuse to keep them enslaved, and victims used for indoctrinating the public through their art. A handler is assigned to victims who is considered a master or god to the person and instrumental in the breaking down process and trained reliance upon them during any circumstance. Those showing signs of wear are dismissed and discredited, and if public, possibly killed. And we understand these components when it comes to certain subjects who have handlers and so on and so forth. It's all about the understanding of them being enslaved, them not having their own mind. It's bad enough in and of itself that most people don't even have their own mind just off GP. But it's an extension when it comes to these people who are put under the programming, man. The real program. I'm not talking about the television program. I'm talking about the procedures. But let me just read on. It says media and entertainment programming. We wonder if our entertainment is a result of a demoralization of society or the forced behavior on a society through social engineering. Social engineering. That's what it is, man. It's a forced behavior that's based in social engineering and influence. And I wouldn't necessarily say force. It's all based off of it being subconscious. You know what I mean? People just gravitate towards these things, this phenomena, this propaganda based off of their subconscious. When it comes to most of these people, they're only using about 5% of their conscious, of their real conscious, shaping our culture and biases through our streams of information. Yeah, like TV, magazines, social media, so on and so forth. He who controls the information sources controls the masses, yes. And who controls all of it? The elite. The elite Jews, the Caucasian Jews. They control all this shit. Many claim the rituals and abuse inflicted on celebrities to keep them enslaved to the industry and presenting them mind control to influence on the public this programming, social engineering, and emotional triggers on a mass scale to the public. We in the public are fed triggers and stimulus of responses through messages and movies and images on a big screen without even knowing it. Yes, because it's all subconscious for the most part. Some people understand the bullshit and they able to point out the different shades of gray. And those people, for the most part, they're blessed for the most part. And some people, they're just a leaf in the wind out here and they don't understand what's going on. They being attacked by all forces of propaganda and so on and so forth, spell casting, what have you. In the early days of drive-ins, theaters were found to place images of food and messages on frames of film that would be undetectable to the human eye, but fed to the brain. Now it is done hidden in plain sight, yes, because it's all subconscious. It's all subconscious. That's what that is. Repeat something enough, and it becomes fact and reality. Through entertainment and media, mantras and phrases are repeated until people subconsciously accept them and begin regurgitating what they hear until they believe it. And that's this world. We live in a regurgitative society. You feel what I'm saying? A regurgitative society. That's what we live in, where everybody, base their thoughts off of conventional wisdom. I'm not saying everybody, because you have a lot of people that are waking up, but for the most part, we live in a conventional wisdom-based society where everything is just based off of indoctrination, what we've been taught in the school system, and so on and so forth. For the most part, you have a lot of people who are waking up to new information, but we still living in a time of that conventional regurgitation shit. So